has the portal changed, do you think, the patience that schools have with their coaches because there's so many players coming and going? And how does that change perspectives, do you think, on patience with coaches?
You know, I think it's just more coverage, right? It's more drama. Um, I think it's just another element to strategy, right? Relative to what you're going to do. I think, and it's new, right? So there's not a huge sample size of evidence relative to what works and what doesn't work. I do think that, our game continues to evolve, and it's important that you keep up. I think there's an element to that, But ultimately, we've got conviction about how we do it. We're gonna do. I think it's much like the National Football League. In my opinion, you're talking about you want to build your team through the draft, and you want to each offseason you're evaluating the depth on your team, the impact players, where do you need immediate presence, and that's the NFL free agency model, right? So I think we're living in a world that's very much the same, So you throw NIL into that equation, and now you're living in a salary cap model, right? The problem is we have no contracts. Our drafted players have no contracts. I'd like to know that we had them for 4 or 5 years. So the instability, I think is magnified, and I think that since when have college fan bases been patient? Okay, that's what I'd like to know, right? So, everywhere I've been, the fan base is impatient in my life, and I've got 2 brothers that are high school coaches. My dad coached high school.